Good morning. Today we are going to take up the second part of the chapter Footprints Without Feet. In the first part, we had discussed how Griffin was invisible by his experiment, and then he moves from London to Iping. In London, he committed the theft, the robbery of the the shopkeeper of the theoretical world, where from where he got the clothes, the bandages, the dark glasses, the false nose, a hat, and side whiskers, which made him a human being, visible human being. Right now, from there he moved to Iping by the train, and there he stayed in Mrs. Hall's inn. In that inn, he used to stay all alone without being disturbed because he said that he wants to live in solitude. He had the money which he had robbed, and he gave that as advance to Mrs. Hall. But the money did not last for a long time. He was short of money. Mrs. Hall demanded the money, and then he said that I'm awaiting a check. Right? He imposed, he pretended that a check is going to come. But he never got that check because no one was going to send him the money. On that night, something strange happened at the clergyman's house. Clergyman is a priest, usually a Christian person, religious leader, who is responsible for his area. That is the clergyman, who is the priest of the church. This clergyman was sleeping with his wife, and he heard some noise in his ground floor room. He, along with his wife, when they heard the noise, they came downstairs. In the room, they could hear the noise of the chink of the money. They had some money which was kept in the drawer, and they could hear that someone was taking out that money. Okay, so they thought that they would catch this person red-handed. So they burst open the door, and with the poker in his hand, poker is a metal rod, right, with a handle which is used for stirring the fire, the open fire, usually in the hearths, right. That poker is used to stir the fire. He had that poker in his hand, and this clergyman was ready to hit the person who was robbing his house. But as he opened the door, there was no one. They could see the money moving, and suddenly the back door opened and shut. The money was gone. For them, it was a very extraordinary affair. They could not understand how their money was robbed and who was the robber. Right? So for them, it was a totally extraordinary affair. When the invisible man, that is Griffin, returned to his room, the door was open. Right? He left the door open. It was early in the morning. And early in the morning, Mrs. Hall and Mr. Hall, they saw the door open and they thought to investigate. They entered into the room secretly and saw what the room was like. What was the guest doing there? What was Griffin doing there? When they entered the room, they saw that the bed was cold. It was cold, that means no one had slept on that bed for a long time. On the bed, the clothes were lying, the bandages were lying, and the hat was also there. Suddenly, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff near her. Right, sniff is taking the air. Okay, sniffing. She heard a sniff near her, and suddenly the hat dashed towards her, hitting her. Okay, nothing could be seen, only the hat dashed towards her and it hit her. Right? Then she saw that the chair, it rose. All the four legs were towards Mr. and Mrs. Hall. And the chair started chasing them outside the room. Okay, so she started to shout, "The chair has come alive." And suddenly the couple was thrown out of the room by the chair. Right, we know who did it, but they did not know. It was the chair which pushed them outside the room, and the door closed. Okay, this was something very extraordinary for them. It was far more extraordinary than what had happened in the clergyman's house. Right? Everything was so strange. It was not so obvious that the people of the village, they were also very surprised. Right? Mrs. Hall started telling everyone what happened with her, and then she started shouting, "That chair belonged to my mother, and that chair has risen against me. It must be a witchcraft." Right? Witchcraft is black magic. So she said that it must have been a witchcraft. Someone has done the witchcraft, that my mother's favorite chair has risen against me. Now, all this was going on in the village. The discussion about the robbery at the clergyman's house, and the rising of the chair, and the dashing of the hat at Mrs. Hall. This strange, extraordinary event was discussed by each and everyone present there. Now, suddenly the invisible man, that is Griffin, appeared, and he paid the money to Mrs. Hall. Now, she was very surprised, as he did not have any money until yesterday. And how did he have the money now? That too he was paying in advance. Right? We know that this was the money which Griffin had stolen from the clergyman's house. Now he was paying to Mrs. Hall. When all this was going on, secretly the police was informed, and the constable Mr. Jaffers arrived on the spot. Mr. Jaffers had the orders from the magistrate to arrest the man who was at Mrs. Hall's inn. He was suspected of robbery at the clergyman's house, and he was suspected of hitting Mrs. Hall. So he had the legal orders from the magistrate to arrest Griffin. So when he arrived at Mrs. Hall's inn, there were many people who had assembled there. They had all assembled to see the man who was responsible for all the extraordinary affairs that was going on in the village. As Mr. Griffins arrived, he had the orders to arrest, and Griffin was there. He was to be arrested, and Mrs. Hall was abusing him. He said that, "You don't know who I am." And then what he did was he started unbandaging himself. Okay, removing the bandages on his face. Suddenly there was a headless man. Right? What would happen when he removed the bandage? His face is not visible. Right? When his face is not visible, the whole body is visible. He becomes headless. Okay? So, Mr. Jaffers was confused. Do I have to arrest a headless person? This warrant does not say so. Right? But he said, anyhow, I have to arrest the culprit. Now, there were many people, and Griffin was all alone. He could not fight with everyone. So, what was the ultimate solution? The same solution which he had to do in London shop. Right? He had to undress himself. Okay, so when he started undressing himself, took out the gloves, his hands were not there. Right? Took out his clothes, the man became invisible. Now, Griffins was invisible, and Mr. Jaffers, the constable, he was surprised. Whom should he arrest? Is this man invisible? How can he arrest? He had the warrant to arrest Griffin, but he did not know who this man was. First he was headless, and then he was bodiless. So which person to arrest? He started to arrest Griffin anyhow, but Griffin was not ready. He didn't want to be arrested. So what he did was that he started hitting Mr. Jaffers, the constable. And he was hit so hard that he became unconscious. But Jaffers had told the other people to get hold of him. But it was very difficult. Easier said than done. It was easy to say, hold on that person, get hold of that person. But it was very difficult to do because he was invisible. So Griffins ran away from there after taking out his clothes, after removing his clothes. Again he became invisible, and again he was in the open. He did not have any clothes, he did not have any money, he did not have any food. So again he was in the same position. Right? Your story ends here, but the novel doesn't end here because this is an excerpt. Okay, so what happens after this is continuation in the novel. I will tell you in short that Griffins met a person, a vagabond, right, a tramp, who was waiting outside the river, sitting outside in the field, open field near the river. He did not have any money, he did not have any shoes. So Griffin made him his slave, and forcefully he asked him to bring the books from his room, because his book had all the theories that he had proved, the things that were there which he had used to prepare the potion to become invisible. He was experimenting to prepare the potion to become visible, to reverse the reaction, right? So his books had all the formulas and all those things. So he used this tramp to get those books, and then he used this tramp to steal the money. What he used to do was he used to steal the money. Griffin used to steal the money and put it in the pocket of this tramp, right? Because he could not put it in his pocket, he could not wear the clothes. So if he could not wear the clothes, he would not have the pockets. So he tried to use this tramp as his slave. But this person, this tramp, ran away from him, and Griffin was shot at. Okay, he was shot at, and he tried to protect himself by going to a house. This house belonged to one of his known person. Okay, Mr. Kemp. Okay, Mr. Kemp is Griffin's former associate from his college days, right? As a student, Griffin was aware that even Kemp was keen about strange facts of science. He also wanted to do something. So, unknowingly, he enters into Mr. Kemp's house and wants Mr. Kemp to help him. He says that I am invisible and you are visible. Both of us can rule the world through tyranny. Right? He wanted to scare the world and rule it. But Kemp pretended that he was with Griffin, but actually he informed the police. And at last, Griffin was killed. Okay, he was invisible, but the road was covered with glass bits, and his feet, which were having the imprints, he was shot at by the police. And then, after shooting, when he was dead, his body became visible. Right now, he could be seen by the people. So, this story tells you about the fact that one should not use the science to to satisfy one's own greed. Right? You should be ambitious, but you shouldn't be so ambitious that you destroy the world. Right? This is a story of greed, excessive greed. Okay, so there are some word meanings. Okay, you will be seeing this: clergyman, poker, furious, terror, hysterics, witchcraft, horrified, prevented, magistrate, and knocked. Okay, and some important events now in Iping. Okay, in the village, Iping village. Okay, I will read it out. He reached Iping in winter, which was an unusual event. Okay, he stayed in Mrs. Hall's inn, saying that he wanted solitude. He was short of cash and pretended that he was expecting a check. The clergyman and his wife heard the chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. They did not find anyone, so called it an extraordinary affair. Mrs. and Mr. Hall entered the room and found clothes and bandages lying on the bed. The hat dashed itself into her face. The chair charged at her. Griffin produced cash to everybody's doubt. Griffin disrobes himself when asked how he came in. Mr. Jeffers, the constable, was surprised to arrest a man without head. Everyone tries to catch Griffin, but he shook himself and becomes invisible to run away from there. So this story tells you about the greed and mortality of human beings. Griffin became invisible and he thought that he could rule the world. Right? He knew that he is mortal. He suffered from the cold, he suffered from the hunger, right? And at last he died. He is not immortal. So the theme of mortality is also discussed here, and the most important is the theme of greed, right? Greed and self-interest. How Griffin, who became invisible, became so greedy and wanted to fulfill all his wishes, right? He wanted to have everything in his life. So from a hero, he became an anti-hero. right? If he would have used this power of invisibility for the benefit of the society, it would have made him a hero. But he became anti-hero when he used this power of invisibility for his own greed, for satisfying his own greed. So this is a story where you must understand that if you have power, you have more responsibilities. You must have heard the phrase, with power comes responsibility. The more the power, the more the responsibility, right? If you have the power, you have more responsibility to bear, and if you are going to use that power for the benefit of the society, that is going to make you a hero. Whereas if you use that power for your benefit, for your greed, for fulfilling your materialistic desires, it is definitely going to make you anti-hero. That is a villain, right? So you must understand this, the theme of the story. It's a beautiful story, and if in any way you find the novel, do read it. Thank you.